Welcome, fellow treasure hunters. Today we're going to a more posh area up the hill where there's more money and should be nicer things at the thrift store. So let's see what we find. Checking out this new place is my first time here. We're looking for products that are worth money. We're an everything seller, so we're looking for everything. Some of the items in this area that we would love to find are Glassy Baby votives, some Lundberg Studios glass. This brings up that these are local to the West Coast. Lundberg's in Southern California, Glassy Baby's in Washington and Oregon. Here is the bottom of a Glassy Baby, so you know what it is when you see it. But also here's the bottom of the Lundberg. You definitely want to verify that you got it, but those are the types of things you're looking for. So if it has a signature or a mark, look it up. It could be valuable, especially if it catches your eye. When you're sourcing products, consider looking up items that are locally available to you. Every region has its own advantages to items you can find, whether it's music, art, manufactured products, etc. Go to eBay and type in your city name and then click on Sold Complete. If you don't click on Sold Complete, you're going to see a bunch of scam, money laundering, and improperly priced items. When I type in Sacramento into eBay, Sold Complete, and then organize from high to low in value, I want to show you the flavor of items in my area that I am more likely to find that sells for good money. This one's one of the CDs I've actually personally sold. I got it in a storage locker. I got a bunch of them in a storage locker. And that's how I came on to kind of 90s gangster rap, Sacramento area, Black Label Records, but more importantly, Brother Lynch Hung Season of the Sickness CD. It sells around $150 new sealed. Keep an eye out for that. Then you got Faux Loco. This is also another high value CD that's hard to get that sells around $90. So every time I'm looking in CDs, I'm looking for these kind of 90s gangster rap, and then I'm looking them up because some just nobody knows about. They were just an artist that never made it, and some have a following where everybody who knows the scene wants a copy of that. Then you got this Legal Drug Money. I don't think it goes for normally $450. I think I've sold this one. I've sold it in the $150 range. But it's also got Brother Lynch Hung on there, rap, G-Funk. So there was a big scene here in Sacramento. So these are a lot of the common things I tend to find. This is a later one. I think it's like a 2011. But Lil Raider, I've never found this one personally, but now it's on my list of things to look up because I like making money and I like finding things where everybody's selling it for $1 to $3 for a CD at the swap meet. If I find Lil Raider, that's going to be a good flip that day. All right, switching things. There's a lot in this category of vintage car dealership license plate holders. My goodness, would you have guessed that John Drew Dodge goes for $250? How many times have you probably passed this up in a flea market, swap meet, garage sale and thought nothing of it? What about this Land Rover license plate frame from Hubacher? Also probably in the $250 range. This goes to teach you that if you find some old marketing from a dealership that especially no longer exists or is very old, go look it up, especially if they're selling it for under $5. Sacramento John Deere Chevrolet, $150. Usually you can get these items for under $5 unless you're at the antique fair, which they know the value of these things. But if you can find it somewhere else, you can flip a little bit of money into some good amounts. Another thing locally here in my area is the Kings. We have an NBA basketball team, and this diamond cut hat goes for a lot of money. Above $200, about $150 to $200 if you can find it. Definitely grab up vintage Kings hats. Let's show you a couple more. How about this Sacramento Kings? They call it the script hat. It's kind of got that fancy lettering on the bottom. You find this, snatch it up, $150 to $250. You can't go wrong. I would even make it look better than this if I was going to sell it for $250. I'd reshape it a little bit. Here's another vintage hat that's going for about $150. I've never seen this one in the wild, but I imagine they're somewhere. Another brand you can look out for is Mitchell & Ness, but look for their older stuff, not the modern day made in China stuff. And look, I found Mr. Beast shirt. I think this is probably worth about $1 million. I look it up to see if it's an original Mr. Beast shirt. The tag didn't match the other tags on the market, so I just assumed it was a fake. Another Sacramento Kings hat for you. Another $150 Sacramento Kings hat. These things are really good. Still haven't found something in this thrift store yet, but it's okay. I'm showing you my hunt. I'm showing you what I pass. Look at the tags. If you think it's worth money, look it up. Make sure, double verify. Maybe I missed a high profit shirt. But the more you get used to looking at the tags and passing the bad ones and picking up and looking at the good ones, the more profit you're going to make when you go on your hunt. So I share this part for your value as well as mine, and maybe you'll teach me something I'm missing that I should have picked up. Like this Savage shirt is Savage. It looks like a good shirt, but I don't think it'll sell well on eBay. So I pass it up. Let's go over some more local found items. More Kings gear. This one surprised me a little bit. I did not know that Sacramento Kings Nike Dry Fit basketball shorts were going to be this much value. But I saw $70. Somebody took an offer below that, but even $50 for a pair of shorts, I'd be super stoked. Look at this pair. This pair did sell for $70. So anytime I see kind of game shorts from an NBA or any type of team with the logo down the sides, I'm definitely going to pick it up. I definitely have been noticing those do go for more money. So I grew up with a grandfather into locomotives and steam powered. He was in the Live Steamers Association. So I have an affinity for anything railroad and steamers. And can you believe these negatives of photos sold? Just 30 of them for $250. You find this kind of stuff just buried in storage lockers. Definitely get out. Find the people getting the storage lockers. Find the photos. Get the negatives. If they're of vintage items like this, there's money to be made. Back on the subject of railroads, how about these brass locomotive, very intricate designs. These run, they actually work. If you can find these, and they sell in the hundreds to thousands, so if you can even pick up one for $50, $100, you're in the money. I mean, $1,259. Let's go if you find this. Now, this is probably going to be more in an estate sale where somebody was into locomotives, but you never know where you're going to find this stuff. You'll be lucky to find it, probably even at an estate sale, to be fair. How about this vintage street sign made of porcelain? You could run across this almost anywhere. Somebody's got it tucked away, and you can get upwards of like $250 for it. How cool would that be? How about this vintage crate label from the 1890s? I'm not sure how you date this. But I mean, I see a ton of crates with vintage labels that are probably more in the 70s, 60s. But if you could find one earlier, the prices seem to go up and up. And I do see crates at the market, flea market, every now and again. So just got to find one with an old label, and you might just be able to make money right off of that. All right, so that was the easy way, just to put your city name in the area. But now go on Google or whatever internet search engine you like and type in famous people from your city and find out what that list looks like. Let me show you what Sacramento's looks like. This is not a bad list for Sacramento. Some of these names I didn't even know lived here. Any of these people, if they are local and they do things local, there might be a lot of autographs in your local area that people, when they pass, Their families don't even care. They just take it right to the Goodwill. Now, Goodwill's probably going to notice Eddie Murphy and Tom Hanks, but you don't know about Summer Sanders or some of these other names that aren't maybe known in every kitchen, right? So do your research on who's local to your area, bands that are local to your area. Find out what can be locally available as far as autographs go. And that's something that you can also hunt for. Here's a list right off the internet of famous bands from the Sacramento area. Really quick and easy to search. Cake, Deftones, Far, Hella, The Mooney, Suzuki, Papa Roach, Rancid, Social Distortion. Seems to be like a lot of good punk and ska bands. Ace of Spades, Holy Diver. These are all things that when I'm thrifting in the Sacramento area, I got to be on the lookout for because I want their autographs on merch or whatever they've done. Plus, I saw a lot of stuff on the list for when I was looking up Sacramento for yearbooks were about $50. Fireman and CHP yearbooks were about $150 each. Those are also from your local area. And I'm not saying just Sacramento. Do this exactly what I'm doing here in your city and spend your research time and make you a list of things you're going to keep an eye out for. And then come back to the comments and tell me you found some of that stuff. And then really come back to the comments and tell me you sold some of that stuff for the money we're talking about, $50 and above. This is how you up your game. You get a little bit more. It might not be 100% sell through in 90 days, but you'll be shocked. Some of this stuff does sell. What is this shirt? I haven't seen this kind of shirt before. This is my first time seeing G4. It is a golf shirt. This is why we come to the bougie area to find the upscale thrift shirts that they throw, probably because they change shirt sizes. And here we go, $75 listed golf shirt. That paid for this trip already, and that's just the first item we found. All right, so why go to the kids section? What can you possibly find that's worth money here? Well, if you go to kids pants, kids shirts, sold completes, high to low, look what comes up. Kids snow clothes, especially higher brand names like Patagonia, Gucci, but even just like regular snow clothes, they go for a lot of money. In a rich area like this, the kids grow out of it. They don't need it no more. They're throwing it in the thrift. And if the thrift isn't doing something else and they're just putting it out on the floor for $6.95 each piece, you're going to get top money. Go look at that. There were sweatpants, all the things you can think of in the adult section that go for a lot of money vintage, especially like t-shirts with old cartoon prints. They're going for $150, $200 a shirt, and they're in the kids' sizes. It's crazy. So we're looking through the kids just really quick for those top level items. We're not trying to find really the bread and butter. We're just going through to make sure that we don't miss a $350 bill that's just laying out here because somebody's done with their snow clothes and it's a top brand. On top of the kids' clothes, there's a jacket rack right next to this. Those also go for good money. So don't pass up on the winter jackets as well. But you're looking for top brands, high resale brands. One of my recent videos where I opened a box that was remaining from a storage locker on my kitchen table. There was a bunch of film developing type stuff and camera equipment. That stuff's been selling really good. Here's another example of the developing tank. Just a small cylinder that goes for $15 and it had 2 spools on the inside. But that's great when you're in the storage locker business selling everything for $15. Hey, look what sold within 60 days. This Coco Joe's wood statue. I think I had it listed for 15, took an offer for 12. It had a little chip on the top of his helmet there, but it looked too cool to pass up. Not going to make me rich, but I don't mind making a couple of dollars on something like this. I think these are the types of things that people are looking for and would attract people to my store. I'm always going on in the Christmas section about I buy bags of Christmas ornaments and I sell them, especially if they're unique. Here's a unique country jukebox Christmas ornament. I had it listed by itself for $10. Took an offer for $8. Now this bag was full of about 20 Christmas ornaments. I paid less than $8 for the entire bag. This is the kind of trade-off I like to make. I'm not much of a shoe seller, but I do sell a few shoes. Those snow boots are $25. I think snow boots go for around $50. I don't know much about snowboard boots or whatever, or ski boots, but I'm not trying to lock up $25 at the end of snow season just to start learning it. But I do sell like Salvatore Ferragamo shoes for women's and a couple other popular brands. I only sell Jordans if I find them in a storage locker. But you can see this place has good prices. So if you find a name brand, they don't price them differently based on the brands except for snow boots. So eventually, if I find a good brand in here, I'm going to get it for a great price. I just got to be first to it. Another recent sell of mine is this Deneen pottery mug. I had this thing probably listed for about a year. These things go dormant. Somehow, delist, sell similar. These things are starting to sell again. It works. Don't take my word on it. Just try it with 100 of your listings and watch them sell. It wouldn't be an Unearthed Treasures What's Sold video without a Dixon flannel in it. Hill City Harley, $50. I've been selling these things between $50 and $75 for the flannels. And I found 3 to 4 of these since I got that lot that I'm selling for a family member. Dixon, Dixon, Dixon. On top of their flannels, they have these bamboo shirts. They go between $35 and $50. It's summertime. These things are going to be more in style. They're not as much money, so don't pay up for them as high. But if you can get this in the $7 price point, it's a great flip. Another recent thrift find was this laser level. I got it in the store. I thought it was worth like $150 when I was using my phone. Got home. When I go to make the video, I find out it's only worth $40. I paid $12 or $15 for this. Once I knew it was worth $50 and I got an offer for $25, I just wanted to get it off my inventory and move on to the next thing. So I was just happy because it's kind of more the generic version and not very brand namey. Get it off the books, reinvest in something else. This thrift store's prices are very reasonable whenever they're not in a boutique scenario where they have it highlighted somewhere. They're selling it for reasonable prices. I don't source many purses, so you won't see me pick many up unless they're in a storage locker. But I'm always looking for some diamond in the rough. But usually I don't find quality that I'm willing to sell. Even Coach purses, it seemed like it was hard to sell for any amount of money that was substantial. Even though you might buy them for $200, it's hard to get like $30 to $50 for them. I recently sold this Pizzo Roll in a Drop cassette from 1995. You can't go wrong when you're selling cassettes for $14. I had this one in my inventory for a lot longer. I think I had it listed around $22. But for an offer for a cassette for $14 after sitting that long, definitely taking it up and going to move on to finding the next item. This hat might be a spoiler for a future video, or I might have bought it when I wasn't filming on a thrift run. But I know this turning red hat made me look it up because it was fuzzy, it was soft. There were other hats like it that are very common. This one, though, I couldn't find any like it, and they sold above $20. I think I had it listed for $25. Took an offer for $20. But because of the rarity of it, I definitely listed, and it paid off. I sold this vintage UCLA Adidas Climate Cool polo. It had some cool look to it. I bought it for $1 at the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store, and I sold it for $18. I think I had it listed for like $22. But I knew it just had this kind of like cool older vibe to it with things on the sleeves and everything. And eventually it sold. And just like everything else, I delisted, relisted, and somebody finally did grab it up. So glad to get the sell. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching my content. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe, hit the like button, and let me know in the comments that you like this kind of stuff, so that it gives me that positive feedback to keep doing this style of video. I'm trying to make content that people want to watch, but also that you can learn from, because my goal here is to kind of teach and show how to do the resale game and sourcing game, so that people can make extra cash on the side. I'm a part-time reseller. I've been doing it for 2 years, making over $2,000 profit a month, and I'm having a ton of fun doing it, and it's different than my day job, and it's always a learning game. I'm trying my best right now to find those high-end golf pants. This is the store where I want to find it. I already found a high-end golf shirt. I knew coming out here the higher-end golf stuff was going to be a potential. Really would like to find a pair of pants that also goes for $100+. But we'll have to wait and see if I find anything like it. Also, on the theme of local items, is there a local type item category that I didn't bring up? Please mention it in the comments if there's something that you pick up in the local area that's common to most local areas, that sell for good amounts of money that people might find at a flea market, estate sale, garage sale, those kind of things. Because I want us to share both ways, where I learn, you guys learn, we all learn from each other, and we can all win. It's not just one person making money. If you're local to Sacramento and you find something and I'm there, I want to come to me, show me, give me the high five. I'll give you a high five. I'm so stoked when we both make money, right? I'm former military, so I'm a veteran. I was in the Army, but I saw these USMC pants, and I'm thinking, these got to be worth some money. I didn't even look it up. In hindsight, I probably should have looked it up. These are PT pants for the Marine Corps. They're cool, they're reflective. Any Marine will like these, but I probably wouldn't have bought them just to list them for $15. I typically do like to get a little bit more money than that, because it takes a little more time to do the measurements and take the photos in like a cassette that's just, or in a Christmas ornament that's like a couple of photos, and then throw it on a shelf. All right, found a second item of the day. This sweatshirt. It's called Hooey. I never heard it before, but it was new with tags. I think from Boot Barn for $41.99. And go figure, new with tags in the resale market's typically like 50% of the retail price. So around $21.99 is what I'm going for. And I paid whatever I don't know if I've shared the price yet for the shirts in this store, but I will probably before the end of the video. It's around $6.99 a shirt or a sweatshirt. So still not a bad flip. All right, I moved to the women's aisle now. I found these Adriano Goldschmied corduroy The Angel pants with flared legs. I think I'm buying these for $6.99. Got it listed for $24.99, so not a bad find. Yeah, here's some of the women's prices there. Just for reference, I find these 7 all for Mankind. This is a good brand to find. The skinnies, nah. But you got to look them up. But also just look for the condition. I'm not going to buy them with the legs that were like that. If they were a little bit longer, I might have done it, but definitely not buying that for that leg and skinny. I'm looking for a little bit better quality for the jeans. I find these purple Lauren by Ralph Lauren. I think color jeans can do well. They're not very common. These might even been corduroy. I couldn't find sold comps that said pick this up. So I ended up leaving them behind and not picking them up. Was I wrong? Let me know in the comments. I never looked those pants up, so there must have been a condition issue on them. Just looking it up on eBay, they sell for around $30 on the average. I probably should have picked them up if there wasn't a condition issue. Um, Sometimes I learn in hindsight watching my own video, right? You can look up these things. Look at the 7 for All Mankind. Don't take my word on some of these prices. Look them up, see if you can match the same comp I'm listing it for now. I will list high and then take offers below. So just know my style. I do like to go on the higher side of the market. But these are a nice looking pair of jeans. A nice pair of jeans that I paid $6.99 for and have already sold it for $29.99. Let's go. That's how we do it. That was definitely less than 30 days. I got it sold before the video came out even. Love when that happens. That makes me super happy that I'm starting to pick up things that are selling faster. You're going to get about a 1% rate of sales per day on the stuff that's sitting there for a year to 2 year sell through. So you need those high sell through items to balance out and get a daily average that's worth talking about. All right, that concludes what I found today. There was more stuff I looked at, but I didn't find anything else. So today, all the items that I found, what I can list it for on eBay or what I sold it for is $166.95. I always subtract 30% in eBay fees from my total profit before I say what my profit is, and also subtract my buy costs, $34.95. Everything was like $6.99. So from an hour and a half's worth of effort, it was $82. It's around $54 an hour average of my time. I hope you learned to thrift local and think local to go sourcing better for areas that have a higher potential to be in your area, because we want to up our sales velocity and up our dollars per item, and so that helps by finding things that are actually available to you. And if you're in the Sacramento area, you're welcome. You have my list of Sacramento things that I'm looking out for. And until next time, I will see you. Keep grinding, keep learning, have fun, and most importantly, be kind.